Whatnauts Reactor Core number 87. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa.
Hello.
Episode 7 of She-Hulk.
7 of 9. Just like the famous Star Trek character.
Good stuff. How are you?
I'm doing good, Kyle. I hope you're having a nice week.
It's been pretty good so far. Can't complain.
Okay.
Can't complain. But yeah, we're getting up there in She-Hulk here. We're almost done with this Harry's. Episode 7. Let's jump right in to all of that stuff. This one, we had seen little bits of this one in like trailers and commercials and stuff like that for She-Hulk, where she is at this kind of I wasn't sure what to call it at first. We now know it's Abomination's ranch, where he has his little like spiritual getaway guru thing going on over there. But she was in this what appeared to be some kind of therapy session. That's what we got here in episode 7. It picks up long story short, as they get a malfunction on Abomination's like ankle thing, and they're like, well, we don't know what he's up to. He could be rampaging, he could be murdering, he could be fine, it could be nothing at all. And so they ask Jen to go up there and check it out. However, the I guess like the interesting twist is that she had been hitting it off with this guy named Josh, right? That was his name.
Yes. Josh from The Wedding.
Yeah, Josh from The Wedding. Went on a couple dates. It's now been a week or two after that. They've been on a few more dates, and they maybe had a night of some making love.
Kyle, your parents aren't listening. You can say whatever you want.
Well, that's what
you don't have to be sly.
That's what that one character says. He's like, "Oh, so you made love?" And she's like, "First of all, ew."
They probably straight up boned. She's like topless, upside down in sheets. That's like the cinema language. They got down.
Exactly. Sheet Hulk is what you might call that there.
That's her when she goes to bed.
But yeah, so things went really well with that. And then all of a sudden, Josh just kind of ghosts her. And so she is dealing with the anxiety from being ghosted in the midst of, what is Abomination up to? I don't know if I'm going to have to go fight him or just be like, okay, dude, you're good. Peace out. And so it's just real high emotions for Jen right here, right now. So with that kind of explanation, Melissa, what did you think of episode 7 here?
I'm very happy to see our first Muppet in the MCU. Jen trying to distract herself from a boy not texting her back by watching The Great Muppet Caper is the most relatable thing I've ever seen in entertainment. Yeah.
And it kind of mirrors She-Hulk too, right? She's super strong and can bend the bars.
Excellent.
And stuff like that. And
of all the Miss Piggy moments, what an excellent choice.
Yeah. And Miss Piggy is always fawning after Kermit, right? And here is Jen being like, "Oh, Josh, you're my hero," right? So it's a really good parallel there.
Yeah, and it's also a parallel to Jen learning to really love the green side of her. It's like, I accept She-Hulk. I love She-Hulk and I love Jen.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought this was a good one. I had a lot of fun. This one reminded me of, I think I've mentioned it a few times on other podcasts that we've done, a comic book series called The Superior Foes of Spider-Man, where it's a bunch of these Spider-Man villains, kind of C and D-list level villains, and they're just bad at being villains. They're just like they try and go steal something and everything goes wrong. They try to be the next Sinister Six, but they can only find 5 people. They could it's stuff like that where it's just like, this is stupid. They're terrible at being villains, and that's what this kind of motley crew of people at Abomination's ranch felt like. What was their names? It was like Bull Man.
Bull Man. El Aguilar, the man who is not a matador, but was on the JV Matador team in college. Saracen, the vampire.
Yeah.
So excited to get more. I love the slow drip feed of vampires in the MCU on the run up to Blade. The porcupine, sweet little porcupine, and then the guy from the Wrecking Crew. And I love that the show is like, you probably remember the Wrecking Crew at large, but you don't remember any of their specific faces. So let's do a mid-episode previously on just for this one guy, because we know you need it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. But that's what those characters kind of reminded me of, right? They're trying to like get in touch with their emotions and rehabilitate themselves, but they're also still like getting in fights and quarrels with one another and stuff. And they're just like, this reminds me of Superior Foes, and I love it because that is a fantastic book. You should go check it out.
I love Emil Blonsky's estate that I guess him and his multiple wives paid for. Never have we seen an MCU title with this many concentrated wives. We've seen like 14 separate wives over the course of the show so far. I love this. First of all, beautiful state, just lovely scenery to look at. And I like when they're in this like group therapy room, he's got these posters up with these incredibly banal platitudes like, today is today, Emil Blonsky. Like the most generic phrases all attributed to him. Like, you'd better remember that make your dreams a reality is something Emil Blonsky said.
Yeah.
Never forget.
The one that I thought, the one that's been in my head the most is it's a portmanteau of abomination and namaste. But it's not how you think it would be. It's not abominaste. It's abamaste. It's
abamaste.
It's
so
the
clumsy.
end is right there. The end is right there. And it's just like, these are so bad.
I really like this space where he's living in, where his character's kind of obnoxious, but ultimately innocuous. Like, he's not a villain. He's just a guy who's kind of annoying, who you have to put up with.
Yeah. I was also thinking about that today, too, because if I'm being honest, I don't necessarily like what they've done with Abomination to make him this, like, annoying character who's just there. And like you said, it's just innocuous, right? But also, I like that they are. Like, I like that we're seeing multiple sides of this character, that we've known him as the soldier. We've known him as the Abomination. We now know him as this like guru, like this fake guru type character, just trying to like get in touch with, just like, let me stay calm. Let me be the Zen master. And it's not what I expected, not what I want, but it's also just interesting. Like I like it, and I think it's been used to a good degree, if that makes sense. So I don't know, but there you go. So let's see. So we get some self-help here. I think what I also really like about this one is that, like you mentioned previously, Jen is kind of coming to terms with herself for real. Now, she's had some things where she's referred to herself as Jen while she is She-Hulk. There have been times where she said she doesn't really want to be She-Hulk. Like the show feels kind of like it's going back and forth on, does she feel like they're two separate identities? Are they the same? Is Jen She-Hulk or is She-Hulk Jen? And this one finally felt like she was kind of coming to terms, like, for real on this, to be like, hey, they're one and the same. They're not different people. Like because she had that whole, like, you know, that popular girl in high school that can get all the guys, everyone likes her, everyone looks at her. Like, I can be that. I can become that. But I like, this one felt like, no, Jen, still in human form, can also still be that person. And She-Hulk can be the, like, shy, timid, mousy, vulnerable one. And in fact, they are one in the one in the same. Like, they are the same person there. And I like that she is finally coming to terms with that, because in the comics, that is that she loves being She-Hulk. When we read the She-Hulk comics that Dan Slott wrote, which there was an Easter egg to his name in this one, like, they didn't have to ask her to be She-Hulk in this. Like, that's she was just like, hey, I like being She-Hulk. This is me. This is who I am. So hopefully we get that She-Hulk by the end of this season. I'm just like, you know what? This is me. I like who I am. And bam, here I am. So
bam,
indeed. Any other kind of thoughts on that, like, guru estate place that you want to add?
I want to say that I do appreciate that as sort of maybe misguided Emil Blonsky might be. Like, he has no proper training. Like, he's trying to put up these posters with his name on it and just, like, the most basic statements. Like, I know today is today, Emil. You don't have to point it out. But what he's doing apparently works. Like, he's got these people together. They are making progress. They make tremendous progress with Jen in just, like, an hour. So I like that he's cracked something. He's not entirely a fraud. He's not entirely, you know, just running some sort of snake oil thing. Like, he's some of what he's doing works. I like that they give him that.
He's an interesting kind of opposite side of the coin to Titania, right? Who is like super big and successful, but is literally the snake oil salesman, right? And trying to, like, take advantage of people where Abomination does not feel like he is. Like, he feels like he's genuinely trying to help these people and look after them. So good stuff with that. But we have to check back into Josh here and all of that stuff. What did you think of their, like, date montage at the start of this?
It was really sweet, really effective. I like that that's what the opening of the show was, that we just spent a couple dialogueless minutes seeing these couple dates throughout Jin's life. Really wish we could have get a shot of whatever movie it is they go see at the drive-in theater. Maybe it's also Muppets. We don't know. We can only hope for more Muppets.
Who knows?
I do appreciate the choice that at the end of the day, it's Josh who's not the person behind all this scheming, but he's in that intelligentsia circle. He knows whoever, like, King Hulk is, which doesn't have tremendous plot ramifications for us, the audience, who were like, we don't even know Josh. Josh isn't in comics. But I like that they made a choice for somebody really, really personal to Jen. Even if we, the audience, barely know him, we just met him an episode ago. He's had, like, 5 lines. I like that they're making the choice that's going to give Jen the most development.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think sticks with me the most, is once she finds out that it was him, she's going to be devastated. Because this is the guy that was into Jen for being Jen. We know it was all a ploy, but, like, that is kind of what she was wanting from the start. Like, there was the one big buff dude who went out with She-Hulk, and he seemed like a great guy, but at the end of the day, he was just like I don't mean to be disrespectful, but Jen is just not my type. And I was like, well, that sucks. And, I'd like to see him come back in the shows just still, but here is someone that she felt like she genuinely, no pun intended, genuinely connected with. And yeah, once she finds out that he somehow got a sample of her blood, is just like, I don't know if that's gonna send her into a rage and she'll be savage She-Hulk, or if she will take all of the stuff that she's learned to accept, who she is and be calm and do all that. That's that, like, she might be okay and might not have to like do a big old Hulk fight at the end here, because again, I would still like I like that we're not necessarily seeing big Hulk fights each one, which is something we expressed at the start. It was like, I don't know if I really want to see She-Hulk fight all the time.
I want to see her argue. I want to see her bring a case to court.
Yeah. So I like what's happening. We've got 2 more left. I still don't really know what's happening with Daredevil here, but I guess that's just back of my mind now. Like, I'm like, go ahead.
I'm okay with them delaying Daredevil because there doesn't need to be a lot of setup for why he gets brought into the story. Like, this has been a show that's proven itself that it can set up and pay off a story within a single episode. Like, it is playing the longer game, but not all of its games are long games. We saw his helmet, there in the fashion design studio. Like, that's plenty. That's all the setup we need. I'm okay with him showing up in like the penultimate episode, probably. I imagine the final episode might be resolving a lot of the things within Jin's immediate life, like Josh, Hulk King, Titania, cousin Chad. Do you think she's going to start a romance with Pug? Because that was something in the comics that we read. I don't know if it's in many more comics than the ones we read by Dan Slott, but they were really cute together. And there was something I've expected from the show, that her and Pug were going to have more of a romance. And I don't think they've really interacted with each other in several episodes.
They really haven't. I don't think we'll get that this season. If they do a season 2, maybe they'll be like, well, you want to go on a date and just see if there's anything here? Who knows? I don't necessarily see them putting much stock in that. I did like the combination of Nikki and Pug. Like, they seemed like to have this odd mutual respect for one another once she found out about his like sneaker obsession, and like, oh, you're into sneakers? How interesting. But like, oh, you're in it for more than just buying shoes. Like, there is a fashion thing about that. Like, that's genuinely interesting. About this. And they went on a little adventure together and stuff like that. So they might find some stuff in common down the road. But I don't know. I would like to see her go on more dates. I would like to see there's all sorts of things I would like to see, because I would like to see her, despite what I previously said. I would like to see a really awesome like Hulk fight with her. Like, that would be great. I don't necessarily need that here in this season, or stuff like that. So yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that we could do. But I guess, to go back to the Daredevil thing real quick, I guess I kind of feel strung along with that, if that makes sense. I know I keep bringing it up, so it's probably me doing it to myself, right? But I think seeing it in the trailer And like having like for me who watched all 3 seasons of that Daredevil show and watched all of the Marvel Netflix stuff, like that's a hype moment for me. So I'm super excited to see that. And when it's in the like I knew it wasn't going to be a big thing. Like he's not going to be like a co-star of the show. Like I know he was going to show up, say a few things, and then probably be on his way, and that's it. But it felt weird to me that they showed that in like the trailer and then was like, and it's probably not happening until like the end of this season here. And I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. Like, I don't have anything against that. I guess just why did that need to be in the trailer then? Like, that would have been a good surprise for that. Oh, well, I'm nitpicking, but
I would be curious to learn what a TV writer or somebody who knows like TV structure really well has to say about, because I feel like 2 episodes ago, we had a teaser for Daredevil at the end of the episode. If he shows up 3 episodes after that, I don't think that's egregious. I think everybody's just very excited to see him, and we're waiting like, when is it Christmas? Like we're taking down the days on the Advent calendar. Like we want to see the big red guy, Daredevil.
Exactly.
The man in the big red suit.
Who's now in the big yellow suit, but oh well.
Yeah, gold.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I hope we learn a little bit more about the intelligentsia. You keep mentioning the Hulk King. I know he used the green, like the arm and the right. That's what he used. It was just a series of emojis. Yeah. And I read that as like he conquered the mission. Rather than like this is like he's speaking to a specific character named Hulk King.
I thought he was like that's who he was sending the text to was Hulk King.
Is that right? Maybe I missed that detail then. I don't know, but
maybe both of us need to look at it again.
Yeah, it might be someone like Maestro. I don't know why Maestro would be in
Who's one of those?
Maestro is a Hulk character. If I'm not mistaken, it's Bruce Banner from the future or something like that. That where he has this like big long white beard as he's hulked out, and he's gone evil, but he's also like still super smart. I think that's Maestro. I don't really read Hulk comics all that much, so I have no idea. But yeah, I don't know who the Hulk King could be.
I mean, it's probably Todd.
Todd. Good old Todd.
I am wondering if Cousin Ched is going to do some sort of a heel turn. We keep returning to Cousin Ched, and I'm still not. I'm like, have we seen all of what Ched is? Is there more to Ched? Is he going to come out as like
that? He's not a Hulk, and that's why he's trying to get the blood. Which I feel like you could just ask.
Hey, cuz, give me blood too. I also want some.
Yeah, like, hey, obviously our family genetics have something going on here. I want to be a Hulk too. Let's sit down and talk about this. I don't know. I'm not sure. That is. I feel like he's just the comedic relief. But I don't know. You could be onto something there.
Right. I don't know if he seems like he's at the perfect level of characterization for them to pull him out and be the culprit behind something at the end of the series. But he also does serve a great purpose just as the juxtaposition to Bruce the scientist and Jen the lawyer. You know, both the very well educated, the people with excellent jobs, great careers, superpowers, and Ched just like wears a bucket hat, and I don't know what he does.
He's a DJ on the weekends.
Right, yeah.
Sells She-Hulk by Titania products. out of the trunk of his car.
That alone is being the sort of like, I don't want to say deadbeat, but like not as ambitious, not as successful as his cousins. If he exists purely in that space, I do get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see something like that happening. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do. Yeah, I have no idea. That's an interesting thought, for sure. Well, let's see. Do I have anything else that I want to mention? I'm thinking through all of the stuff. We did mention the Dan Slott Easter egg. It was the Slott Towing Company.
Yeah.
Dan Slott is a Marvel Comics writer. Of course, he wrote Spider-Man for a long time. I think recently he just finished up a pretty decent-sized run on Fantastic Four. I don't know what he's going to be up to next. I think he came back to Spider-Man for something, but yes, he also wrote a bunch of She-Hulk comics. There was also a Dan Slott Easter egg in Spider-Man Far From Home. And when they're in Europe, one of the street names and stuff is named after him in that one there. But that's I think all I have on She-Hulk episode 7 here.
It was a nice time. It was very sweet. I really enjoyed meeting all these new characters in the support group. I hope we see them pop up again in the future. And I still appreciate that this show allows itself to be on the slower and more interpersonal side. And we don't get a fight every episode.
For sure. Indeed. Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at WilkyWit. That's WILKYWIT. And listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities.
There you go. And you guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer. And of course, if you'd like to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. So please go like, share, and subscribe. That would help us out a ton. If you're on the YouTube version of this, go check out our reactions to Star Wars Andor right over there on that side. This has been number 87 of the Whatnauts Reactor Core. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.